Welcome to Red, White, and Brown from Daisy's Live. And we're here today in a very sad mood. It's a very sad day for America because Roe v. Wade, the law that ensured abortion rights for women, healthcare rights for women, was just overturned by the Supreme Court of the United States. And although we don't want to be political about it, we just want that our voices be heard.
You don't actually know what Roe v. Wade does. For anybody out there who has no background or context, it is outlawing abortions for anybody who can carry a pregnancy in America. And essentially, it's letting those rights rest with the states. But in very many states in the US, abortions are also outlawed. So why are we talking about it here today on our show? We're completely aware that a majority of our listeners happen to be South Asian Americans who are in America, and that puts us, unfortunately, in a minority group. And something like this actually disproportionately affects minorities. Because the ability to travel to states where you can now have abortions, the ability to access mail-in abortions, the ability to fight yourself or fight for yourself should you find yourself in any sort of legal battle over an abortion, becomes difficult, especially when you are a minority, you're below the poverty line, you fall in certain socioeconomic statuses, you don't have the ability to travel for whatever reason, you don't have your paperwork. All of those small things lead to bigger issues because we are now disproportionately affected by Roe v. Wade, even though all women face that issue.
And just to add to that, I am calling in from a notoriously Republican state, and I can tell you that, even here, women everywhere are very scared to find out, what these implications mean for themselves and for the situations they may find themselves in, especially whenever there are debates about, interstate travel potentially being banned as well. On top of that, being hypothesized in the future. So, here at Daisy's Live, we really want to be able to provide our audience with the materials to be able to find support in the times in which you may find yourself in a situation or fighting an uphill battle due to the recent overturn.
So why are we concerned about this? Because overturning Roe v. Wade is not about the politics. It's not about Republicans versus Democrats. It's not about who you are. It's not about men versus women. The real story is the women. The real story is this girl whose appointment is scheduled for tomorrow, and now she gets a call from a clinic sometime in the next few hours telling her, no, we're sorry, we cannot give you an abortion at all, because Roe v. Wade has been overturned by the Supreme Court by 4 gentlemen who are all white. The real story is the woman waiting tables. She was so sick and exhausted in the past week, she can barely make it through shifts, who will be calling clinics in other states, hearing that they're booked for weeks. But she can't afford to get on a plane to get to an abortion provider, and she'll try to figure something illegal to end her pregnancy. The real story is the abortion provider, exhausted and heartbroken from years of politicians playing politics with her patient's right, with her rights, with the data of the patients. She can no longer keep her clinic open to other services anymore. And she concludes she can, or he concludes he just can't do it anymore. The real story is the mom of 2 who's pregnant, who has to comfort the other 2 kids, trying to figure out what she will have to give up in order to provide for a 3rd kid that she can't abort anymore. The real story is thousands of women who will get raped and will have to carry the children of their rapists. There will be so many women whose lives will be made smaller and less dignified by unplanned and unchosen pregnancies. The women whose health will be endangered by long, grueling physical process of pregnancy. The women and others who will have to forego dreams, end educations, curtail careers beyond breaking point, and subvert their own wills just because somebody decided to end Roe v. Wade. The real story is actually in the counterfactuals. The hopes that they will not pursue anymore, the jokes they will never tell, the friends they will not meet, The people who will never live full, expansive, diverse lives because they're forced to live lives that you are throwing up on them because you decided what their lives should be. The real story is of millions of women who now know that they're less free than what men are. Less free and less in control of their own bodies, less free in deciding what the paths of their own lives are, and less free in their say and how their families will be formed. This is a real story of how you have unfreed women, the pain that you have inflicted on women, how you have stolen their bodies from them, their will from them, their joy from them, their freedom from them. Are you ready to grieve for them now?